Hello, my name's Rothman Jacobs. This is Adventures in Pop, episode 88. You are looking particularly fabulous. It's the middle of winter, and actually, as I speak to you now here in West London, it is actually snowing, actually. But I haven't really come on here once again to talk to you about the weather or the weather forecast. Or how cold it is outside, but to talk to you about a new song I wrote just a little while ago, a few weeks ago, and just basically show you a little bit of kind of what I'm writing. As a single's been out a little bit recently, I hope you've checked out Out of a Clear Blue Sky. There's another single coming just before Christmas called Coming Up Roses, but in the meantime, here in the middle of December, we're going to talk about just a new song called The Greatest Star. Okay, The Greatest Star. As some of you will know, because I've talked about it before, I went to Hong Kong a little while ago, and on my flight from Heathrow to Hong Kong, unbeknownst to me, I was with a very, very famous Hong Kong superstar who was from a Hong Kong group called Mirror, who virtually nobody outside of Hong Kong has ever heard of, but in Hong Kong are, they're colossal, they're enormous, and doing really, really well. Now, I was inspired to write the song partly kind of understanding from a couple of newspaper excerpts that, life as a real superstar in the spotlight all the time is not always, sweetness and light, and it has its pressures. Now, look, come on, we all really know this, don't we? So I was trying not to write, I'm a really famous pop star and I'm really miserable song, because I think that's probably overdone. It's a bit of a cliche. So I'm trying to step aside from that. And also, I wasn't trying to write a song specifically about this pop group in Hong Kong. That's not really my intention. And I'm not here to cast any real critical view of whether they're any good or not any good. I don't know much about them. So put them to one side. What I was interested in was just that whole thing about some of the ups and downs of superstardom, but trying to find another way of kind of getting it across, because it is, as I've said before, quite a well-trod path. So I wrote this song called The Greatest Star. I'm going to play it to you. I've made a little video for it because I'm that kind of guy, generous to a fault, and I want to just sort of pull out from it, the interesting things about it. And there are only a few, but there are some. And like always, I don't know whether this is a song that's going to be on an album in the future, or whether, in a couple of months' time, I will have forgotten all about it. So it can go either way. And sometimes I need to, as I'm sure you do, for those of you who write songs, sometimes you just need to live with them for a while and see if they grow on you, or if the opposite is the case, and they, what is the opposite of growing on you? They deteriorate on you, so that within a few months you decide you actually hate it. This has happened to me, both has happened to me, and I'm quite curious about, why it goes in one direction or the other direction, but as I say, I've experienced both. So, in The Greatest Star, there are a couple of things that I think are interesting. Certainly, musically, what I would like to point out first is, in the chorus, I don't think I went into the chorus thinking this is what I was going to do, but as the chorus was kind of being written, it kind of became clear that this is what I was doing. What is this? Well, it's almost a chorus on one note. It's not literally one note, because I'm playing below and above it, and I'm singing, around it, but I keep coming back literally to the same note throughout the chorus. And it's quite a long chorus. So, in a way, what I like about it is that it's one note, and that underneath that note, the chord is changing several times, but I'm sticking to that note, or leaving and returning to that same note. So let me just separate out the vocals in the chorus. It's a harmony, as you would expect. And let me play this to you, and you can get a better idea of what I mean by the kind of a one-note chorus. Here we go.
To your mom, you're a song. To your fans, you're the greatest star. And to you, you've no idea who you are. No idea at all. You just know there's a rise and a fall. Sometimes you can't help but look down and shiver. A dream you might float away on the river. To your mom, you're her son, but to you, you could be anyone. You could be anyone.
Thank you. And the other thing that I found quite interesting in this, there are a few samples again. Once again, I'm kind of rather enthralled by the samples. Because samples sometimes they can really shape the sound of your piece, your song, your mix. And the exciting thing is that you've just found it in a great big catalogue of samples, and tried to probably do a bit of tweaking. Obviously, it's going to likely be in the wrong tempo, the wrong key. Some of it will work and some of it won't, so you might cut off some of it and change it, transpose it, or take it out altogether. I mean, there are so many things you can do with a sample, so that when they really work, when they really add something, it's quite exciting. And let me start by playing you this piano sample, which I've used quite liberally in this song. Yeah, okay, that's quite nice. And I've also got this guitar sample. Good. Okay. I think it's time for you just to, listen and watch the video, hear the song. Do tell me if you like it or if you don't like it. I'm always up for feedback, and I won't cry. I'm pretty good with feedback these days. You can't really do this for years and years and years and get upset if somebody doesn't like it, or even get too excited if somebody does like it, because it's a big world out there, and in the end it's more like in a few years' time, has it been streamed a lot? You've got to judge these things in the long term. That's my advice. So let me leave you with The Greatest Star, the fabulous video and the song that was written just a few weeks ago. And I will be back very shortly with another edition, and I am lining up, as I say, another track from me just before Christmas, and there'll be more from Rothman Jacobs and from Goldhawk Foxes very soon into the new year as we go into 2023. So I'll see you very soon. It's been lovely. Stay warm, and here's The Greatest Star.
Careful what you wish for ever since you were a kid. This is what you came for. Just look what you did. All you hear is screaming, none of it makes sense. You wonder if you're dreaming, how did this get so intense? The crazy paparazzi, they're like snipers on the rooftops. They're after somewhere you can't see, but you wonder how it all stops. You bought the perfect mansion, but you're scared to be alone. So your entourage is with you, but this will never be home. To your mom, you're a son. To your fans, you're the greatest star. And to you, you've no idea who you are. No idea at all. You just know there's a rise and a fall. Sometimes you can't help but look down and shiver. A dream you might float away on the river. To your mom, you're her son, but to you, you could be anyone. You could be anyone. Now you feel the pressure, always talking to the press. What happened to the pleasure? Can they tell that your life's in a mess? They want another album, they're planning another tour. Please don't change the magic formula, just give them a little more. You know what it's all about, just the night follows day. They chew you up and spit you out like a toy that will be thrown away. To your mom, you're a son. To your fans, you're the greatest star. And to you, you've no idea who you are. No idea at all. You just know there's a rise and a fall. Sometimes you can't help but look down and shiver. A dream you might float away on the river. To your mom, you're her son, but to you, you could be anyone. You could be anyone. No idea at all. To your mom, you're her son. To your fans, you're the greatest star. And to you, you've no idea who you are. No idea at all. You just know there's a rise and a fall. Sometimes you can't help but look down and shiver. A dream you might float away on the river. To your mom, you're her son, but to you, you could be anyone.